Greetings, 2020 spring. This is the coronavirus edition of Business 1360 section 1H1 only, and this is the Flex 2 term class for software apps for business. I'm going to be your instructor through this interesting term. My name is Dr. McGrory. Let me just assure you we're going to work through this together. And this is probably going to be a little bit of a long video, so if you'll bear with me, I would ask that you watch the entire video because it's going to make you feel comfortable, okay? I know there's a lot of questions and trying to understand what is the expectation as we proceed through this term, and so that's what I'm going to do with this video. I'm going to walk you through it so that you can get started. Let me start by explaining a little bit about what our class is and then how this coronavirus edition of our term is going to change things a little bit. First of all, this is a Flex 2 class, and Flex, you may know, stands for Fast Learning Experience. And that's because when you enrolled in the class, it was not a 15-week class. It was designed as a 7-week class. All right. Now, we've had some changes, and it's no longer a 7-week class. If we look over here at the coronavirus edition, we're having a 1-week delay because the spring break has been extended, and hopefully you're watching the things, your emails and social media, as well as the town hall meeting that Dr. Hall conducted. And she said there is a 1-week, basically delay as we have spring break. Then we're going to go into 2 weeks that are fully online, and that means no class meetings. So remember, we started out with a compressed term, not a semester, but a term class that was 7 weeks. The 1-week delay means 6 weeks, and within that 6 weeks, the first 2 weeks of class will be fully online. And then the remaining weeks of class will be what they have always what they were always going to be, which is they'll return to their regular hybrid classroom format. Now, let's talk about what is a hybrid class. So when you signed up for class, it was a fast learning experience class. It was 7 weeks, and it was also scheduled as hybrid. And what hybrid means is that we're meeting together. We are face to face only half of the time that we would normally meet. And you might be saying to yourself, but wait a minute, I noticed that our class is meeting for 3 hours every week. Well, yes, but we're only meeting 7 weeks, not 15 weeks. So if we were going to meet the full face-to-face time, we would actually be together twice the contact hours because we're meeting in half the number of weeks. So we would be together 6 hours, but would be together in the hybrid format for 3. Okay, so you can see that it really is compressed. Our class has always been designed to use digital tools, digital materials. One of those websites is PAWS, and I hope that you're a little familiar with PAWS. Some students think of it as eLearn because in the website it actually says eLearn. This is the college's official course management system. It's where you find your grades, feedback on graded assignments, all kinds of information, your syllabus, our class schedule, lots of different types of information, and we'll look at that. We're going to use another website, and this is where you're going to find your ebook. And some students may think of it as MyITLab or MyITLab. If you have familiarity with MyMathLab, for example, yeah, this is a Pearson product. It is a little different because, of course, our class is not math. We're doing software applications. And the easiest way to get to it is MyITLab. So you might think MyITLab, but IT for information technology. So it's just myitlab.com. Now, here's good news. if you think, oh no, I'm going to have to purchase a digital access code and how much is that and all that, I have really great news for you, which is that our class participates in something known as DEI. It used to be known as Include Ed. And what that means is that when you enrolled in the class, you purchased your digital access. And I'm going to tell you how to get into the class and how to do that, but you've already purchased your digital access. Now, I say that it is possible if you took specific steps and you said, I don't want this, and you logged in to this Follett website and you said, cancel me out of this, then of course you would have to find your access code on your own and you would have to purchase that. But if you didn't, actively take steps to get out of this DEI program, then you're in it. Okay, so you have your digital access. And I'm going to walk you through our syllabus, our schedule, and just kind of the information you need to get started. Before I do, let me tell you some of the things that, especially during this online time frame, that are going to be really critical to your success. First of all, the instructions that you're going to receive are for Windows computers and for the Office 2016 software. Now, oftentimes, students are going to have Office 365. And to tell you the truth, in the fall, we're going to be changing to Office 2019, which is the newer version. But, right now, the entire campus, all the computers are on Office 2016. So, and they use Windows. So, even though, you might have something different at home. Okay, and let me just talk about that for a minute. You might be working on a Mac right now. I understand that. You might be using Office 365. What I need you to know is that there will be points in the assignment where the instructions are going to be different from what you need to do. Now, there's kind of a couple ways to handle this. One is sometimes students take the point loss, and I hate to see that because, you're losing points for something that, in my opinion, can be overcome really easily. I think easily is a fair statement. And you can overcome it if you do this. Maybe you work on the pieces of the assignment on your Mac or on your computer that has a different version of Microsoft Office, and you do as many steps as you can. Then you can go to oftentimes a public library, or you can go to any of the Southwest campuses, go to the library, go to the Academic Support Center, go to one of the computer labs, and they will have Office 2016 installed on those computers, and just sit down and complete those steps of the assignment so that you get all your points. Okay, I think that's very, very important. So think about, maybe you have a friend who has a Windows computer that has Office 2016 on it. These are things that you might want to think about because the instructions will differ, and I kind of can't navigate all of that for you, all right? I have students who have tried to go through the course using free versions of Office, like OpenOffice and that kind of thing, and I tell you why we're not opening things up to that level. What we're teaching is the business skills that are commonly used in the workforce. And if OpenOffice and Linux was the most popular software that everybody in business used, then that's what we would look at teaching you, because we want you to be ready for the workforce. But what we're teaching is what we have received feedback from our advisory board are the skills that are in demand, and that is Windows-based computers, the Windows operating system, and Office 2016, and like I say, we'll soon be going to Office 2019, but we are in pace with business, and I want you to feel comfortable with that. Now, again, what if you're saying, okay, I've got to go to campus because I'm just confused and I need help? Your best source of immediate help is going to be the Academic Support Center, okay? And think about, before you go up there, what is it that you need help with? Because oftentimes students will go in and they'll say, I need a tutor for Business 1360. And to my understanding, there are not, and this, this changes constantly, but my current understanding is that they do not have a tutor for Business 1360. I might be wrong on that, but I do believe that that is the current situation. But I'm not sure that that is always what you're going to them for help, to them to get help with. For example, maybe you do not know how to save files that are in PAWS or in MyITLab to your flash drive or to your computer. Well, that's not really a Business 1360 question. That's just something that you need help with. And they'll be able to help you with that at the Academic Support Center. So go and get help with that. Maybe, part of what I'm going to ask you is to watch some videos that are embedded in your textbook, your ebook. And they're critical, by the way. The printed book is not going to be the same. You really do need the ebook, which is part of what you have already purchased, okay? So if you're having trouble playing embedded videos, if you say to the Academic Support Center, my instructor keeps telling me to watch these embedded videos that are in my ebook, I don't know what she's talking about, I don't know how to do that, they're going to be able to look at my instructions, they're going to be able to help you with that. Because sometimes, what the Academic Support Center can help you with is that when we feel overwhelmed, we get frustrated, we get angry, and when we're feeling those emotions, and those are normal emotions, it is hard to learn. It's hard to relax, and we need somebody to help us through that, over that hill, okay, to help us through those moments. And the Academic Support Center can say to you, okay, let's wait a minute now. What are the instructions? Well, it says here we're supposed to do this. Have we done this? Okay. And then, okay, let's say there's an instruction that's wrong, then you're going to be able to see that more clearly. And if you're emailing me asking for help, instead of that email saying, I just don't get it, it would say, I am stuck on instruction number 2 where it says that I'm supposed to click this. I do not see that. That is something we can really address quickly, okay, and get you back working again. If you just don't get it, that is obviously a very relevant, and it might be where you are. But it does mean that we're going to have a lot of back and forth as we try to figure out what is it that you're not getting. What assignment are you working on, okay? So I want you to leverage this Academic Support Center because I don't want you to get frustrated or confused, and that does happen, okay? But should I just go back? Let me go back. We're gonna get through this. Okay, you can do this. There's nothing that we're gonna ask that other students have not done. You are not this one person who's not gonna get it. You're not. You're gonna work through it, and it just means that it takes kind of a lot of just stepping back, thinking about some things, maybe, again, having somebody sit with you to say, the way I'm reading this, it's this, but this is not working. And so just really take a calm approach to this, because this is nothing that is, it's not life or death. You can do this, okay? It's just saying, I need to understand what it is that they're asking me to do, and the Academic Support Center can oftentimes help you with that. Things like embedded videos, watching those in your ebook, downloading files, that's new to some people, creating a folder on your flash drive and how to get the files into that folder. That might be something that they can help you with there. Once you finish your work, how do you upload the file? And you know what, folks? A lot of students lose points because they get confused on where their files are and they upload the wrong file. So instead of putting it in a folder, sometimes they save files and they just say, I'm just going to save another copy of it. I'm just going to save it again. I'm just going to download it again. And you end up with about 5 copies of that file, and you upload the one that you didn't do any work in. And I don't want you to lose points with that. So this is, again, where that Academic Support Center can be helpful. One of the things we'll talk about is that your browser will almost always try to block these pop-ups that are going to, be important information from your ebook that are going to pop up. And so you might need to enable that. I'll try to show you that, but if you're really struggling with it, again, the Academic Support Center will help you. Again, let me assure you of this. I'm going to show you everything that you need. What I'm talking about is if you get stuck. So I'm going to walk you through this. Don't feel abandoned. I'm not saying go to the Academic Support Center because I'm not helping you. I'm just saying that sometimes after I try to help you, sometimes you need to sit down with somebody and it's 6 o'clock at night, or it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's just perhaps at a time that I cannot help you. It's outside my office hours. Now, what happens if something is just not working? It's not working on my computer. I'm trying to run a simulator in MyITLab and it is not working. Well, that's where you're going to use technical support from MyITLab. This is Pearson. Or maybe you need help downloading some software like the Office 365 software, and maybe you need to stop by the Southwest Technical Support Center so that they can help you with that. So these are some tools that are critical to your success. Okay. I am going to exit out of this and I'm going to open up my browser. Now, the browser that I have open is Chrome. And if you have spent time on campus, you may have several instructors who have emphasized using browsers like Chrome and like Firefox. And if you are right now saying, I do not know what that lady is telling me right now. She's talking about Chrome. I've not heard of Chrome. She's talking about Firefox. How do I get that? Even if I've heard of it, how do I get that? That is where you might want to go back to, hey, Southwest Technical Support, can you help me? I need to install Firefox on my computer. If you've got a laptop, maybe you just bring it right up there to campus and ask them to help you install that on your computer. Okay, so you have that support that you need. When I'm at this site, this website, this is just the www.southwest.tn.edu. You're probably familiar with this. Notice up here at the top, there's a link that says PAWS. This is our course management system, so click on that. And you'll come to this page. Now, I highly encourage you to bookmark this page on your computer. In other words, make it where it's real easy to get to, very handy. Sometimes students actually refer to this as eLearn because you'll notice that's part of the website up there. So you might want to just type elearn.southwest.tn.edu and it'll take you straight to this site. But this is your starting point. I like to use this administrative login because it's just a little quicker. Now I'm going to log in, and of course as the instructor I see things a little bit differently than you. And in fact, I'm recording this video on March 15th, and you won't actually see the materials until tomorrow. So even though our class doesn't start for another week, since it was scheduled to begin tomorrow, I think you're going to be able to get in tomorrow. So first of all, I come into PAWS, and I'll just very briefly point out that they have put a note here. If you're graduating, you may know that you have to take, to get your degree, a graduation exit exam, and so you might want to explore that. But I am interested in going into our class. I'm going to click the waffle up here. And of course, our class is Business 1360. We're the 1H1, which is our Flex 2 section, and I'm going to click that. Now, as your instructor, I see things a little bit differently, and so I want it to look like you're going to see, so I'm going to change it. So this should look more like what you see in your screen. All right. Now, this is, I wasn't prepared to teach this as a fully online class. We have a fully online class and I teach it. So I'm equipped to do that, but it takes time, to make a class 100% online. I think I have things pretty well set up for you, but if you should encounter something that is confusing, you said this and I do not know what you were talking about because that's not in the syllabus, it's not on our schedule, I might have made a mistake. Okay, I'm just going to tell you I might have made a mistake. That happens. Email me, tell me where you were. I was looking in content. I was looking under Word Module 1, and this is what it said. Because, there might be, I've tried to do this very quickly, and it's possible I could have made a mistake. Across the top, first of all, I encourage you to explore all these tools. This video is already going to be a little long, and so I don't want to make it too long, so I'm not going to do every single tool, okay? I'm just going to click on Content because this is a great place to get started. Now, look over here on this left side, and here's the first thing that I want to point out. I created a category called Attendance Quizzes, and I'm going to click on that. And what you can see here are links to 3 quizzes. You can see when they open and when they close. Okay, notice it opens our first, tomorrow, so I can't actually get into this quiz now. Folks, this is easy points right here. Each one of these is required, and they're 5 points each. And because I cannot take attendance in a classroom, I need some way to report your attendance. So what I need you to do is click this link. You're going to go into a PAWS quiz. It has exactly 1 question, which is, are you here attending the class? And, hopefully you're going to answer yes to that question. That's going to allow me to report to the college and, of course, in turn to the federal government that you are attending class. And so I do need you to do this. Now, you'll notice it goes actually into, I've got 3 of them. It actually goes into the middle of April. So go ahead and, as they open up, do complete these because things are changing with this coronavirus. Dr. Hall may need to make further announcements. The college senior staff is planning, and so we just want to be a little flexible to make sure that we have something in place. And it's 5 points for you, so you get some points. So this is a good thing, right? Okay. Remember, we're over here, table of contents, and to tell you the truth, we started with content, table of contents, and I clicked this attendance quizzes folder. Well, the next one I'm going to click on is getting started. All right. Now, you can read through a lot of this, how things work, and you're certainly welcome to do that. I think that what you are going to be, I copied a lot of this from my online. I think that what you're going to be most interested in is see this subcategory, and it's actually down here as well. And it says, here's the syllabus. It has MyITLab information and course code, and it also has our schedule. Okay, we are going to walk through these. I'm trying to think of how quickly I want to introduce you to something. Oh, yes, okay. Sorry, I have to pause. Let's start out with the syllabus just to click it, but I want to wait and not spend all of our early on time with thou shall not and thou shall. Okay, so I just, for right now, I just want to click on this and say syllabus. And there's the syllabus. It's available for you. I believe I have made all the necessary updates to reflect our, condition. I believe that is the case here. I'll make sure I'm linked to the correct one here. Okay, so you can go through and read through the syllabus, and we'll come back to this in just a minute. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, so up here, here's what I did. It opened the syllabus in a different tab, and see how I still have this tab open. This is actually where I went out to the syllabus. But we were under this getting, and see how I can go back. These are all hyperlinks. I'm going to click back on getting started. And that was where I had my syllabus schedule and MyITLab. Okay, and what we did is we clicked syllabus. Now at any part, if I'm going too fast, remember you can pause the video, you can rewind the video. All right, next step. Next step here, it has MyIT information and course code, and we're gonna look at that. It also, if you look down below, here's a schedule. Now these 2 pages are designed to be accessible, hopefully easy to read in your browser, but in the supplemental area, sometimes these are formatted more as Word documents, and they probably will print a little bit better. So I want you to know that the same information is in these documents as is in the supplemental information. But the supplemental information is going to be a little bit easier to read and to print. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to click down here in the supplemental information. I'm going to click this PDF document here. Flex to MyITLab Student Reg. And what I might do if I was you is I might save this. As I scroll down the screen, see where there's a download button? I might save this to my computer. I might print it but that way if I save it to my computer, I can print just this one document because it has a lot of really good information in it that I think is important. First of all, notice up here at the top, it says Firefox and Chrome browsers are recommended. So if you're clicking on a blue E, that is not Firefox and that is not Chrome. Okay, so I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but I'm saying that Firefox and Chrome tend to be more reliable. Okay, at the end of the day, you're going to use a browser that works. What I often suggest when a student emails me and says, hey, this is not working, the first thing I'll suggest you is try a different browser. Try a different browser. Okay, so try that. The next thing is that you're going to enable pop-ups in your browser. You'll constantly be looking along your address bar up here towards the top for a little red, so it depends on what browser you're using, but you'll see some kind of red X or red something, and if you see something red, you're going to want to click on it and you're going to want to click enable, because that will probably be your ebook trying to open up. It's going to be one of your simulator assignments trying to open up. All right. Now we're getting ready to register, and before I go through this, it says, hey, I have an important note. If you've completed a learning support class using MyITLab, well, see, MyITLab, MyITLab, then you probably already have a login, and it's probably your Southwest username and password from that time. So your password has not, with Pearson, has not been kept in sync with your Southwest password. So if you can remember what your password was back when you took that learning support math class, then you could probably get right in using that. If not, you just have to reset it. You know, you click that forgot my password link, something like that, okay? Same is true, the MIS 2749 class, they also use MyITLab, so again, you might have a username and password under that. Now, on this instruction sheet, by default, it says that you should type all of this stuff, pearson.com/MyLab. But you know what? All you have to type is MyITLab, and we're going to do that. We're going to register as a student. You're going to confirm that you have the information needed, and then you're going to click on OK. Now, some of the information that you need is, the first part is going to be this. This is our course code. This is my last name. And then it says 95599. That's our course code. Now, if you participate in that DEI program where you purchased your access code when you enrolled, and you did do that unless you specifically took steps to get out of it, then I'm also going to give you another piece of information that's not on this page, because I don't know if every student, you know, stayed enrolled. You can opt out. But that extra piece of information is your access code. Okay, and we're going to look at that in just a minute. Let's see, enter the access code that came with. Okay, and so again, here's a note about Include Ed and different ways that you can pay. And then how do I get back in? How do I sign in later? Well, you know, again, you go simply to MyITLab, and I'm telling you that over here. Again, telling you what to look for. Now, here's a little extra piece of information, and again, the reason that you may want to print this paper. For technical support, here's the website, and it's clickable. I've got it right there, and you can just click on it. Okay, so I would suggest that you print that. That is one of these supplemental pieces of information. And the next thing that I want you to look at is the schedule. Now that's the next. Remember, I'm in the supplemental information, but if I went back up here to syllabus, this is also the schedule. So these documents are the same. Okay, here's the schedule. It's just this print's a little easier. When you click on the schedule, be patient because it takes time to download. Now the first thing is, you'll notice this is our revised schedule. It is revised for the coronavirus experience, and it indicates on the top of each page that, hey, you know, this term was delayed by 1 week because the spring break was extended. We're going to have 2 weeks online, followed by our 4-week hybrid class, all right? All right. Now, These are some things that we've talked about, that this class is hybrid, which means that from the beginning, the expectation was that you would do 50% of your classwork outside of class. And I'm going to tell you something. This is the perfect class for that, because a lot of what you have to do is really, it's not a lecture kind of class, it's a hands-on class, and the ebook and the simulators and the tools that you have are really rich and supportive. And so if you are doing that work, you're going to get the support from the built-in tools, all right? Remember that the class was also accelerated from the beginning. It was a 7-week class, not a full semester class from the beginning. Here's some of the other things we talked about. Here's our PAWS website. Now, this we haven't yet talked about is called Microsoft Portal, where you can download free software and install it on your computer, but that software is Office 365. Not Office 2016, okay? So just be aware of that. There's going to be differences. It might let you do a lot of the work without coming to campus, but there might be a couple steps where either you have to borrow a computer that has Office 2016 or you might have to come to campus to complete some steps, all right? Then here's that MyITLab website again. This next bullet, instructor reserves the right to alter the schedule. Folks, we're in crazy times, this coronavirus edition. So just, I'll let you know if something changes. I will let you know. If I'm emailing you, though, you have to do your part. You have to read the emails. You have to watch videos like this. I know they can be long, but you are responsible for those changes. Now, I just mentioned things do change sometimes, and I communicate with you via email. So check email daily. There are 2 emails. There is a PAWS email, which typically gets forwarded to your Southwest email. So check your Southwest email. When you reply to me, if you try to reply to the email that was forwarded from PAWS out to your Southwest email, you're going to get error messages. So you'll need to either go into PAWS to reply, or else make sure that you are communicating with me at my Southwest email, which is jmcgrory, jmcgrory at southwest.tn.edu. And guess what? That's in the syllabus. So you don't even need to write that down, because that's going to be in the syllabus right here up towards the top. Okay? Remember, that was our syllabus. All right, so check your email, stay in communication. This is a Flex 2 class, and it was originally designed to start Monday the 16th. There was talk that you wouldn't be able to access any materials until the 23rd. My understanding, based on more recent conversations, is that they're going to be available to you as of tomorrow. So as soon as it's open, you can begin working. But I do have the due date set up as if you were not able to access it until Monday the 23rd, okay? So nobody's going to be slighted if they're not getting in, okay? Now, prior to class, remember, this is designed as a face-to-face class, and we will, the expectation is ultimately we will meet in person. And so what you'll need to do, make sure you have your ebook code, which you do because you purchased it when you enrolled. And you'll need a flash drive. Those are those little USB drives you stick into the computer so that you can, carry your work back and forth from the college computers to home. All right, I know it's a long video. Bear with me, folks. I do appreciate your patience, but I think this is going to help you so much. I really do. Okie dokie. So here's week 1. We're entering it, but remember, it's canceled because Dr. Hall has said we're extending spring break. That was in her town hall meeting video, and I did email you the link to that video. We're looking forward to, the class actually begins in this week 2, but it will be fully online. So what do I want you to do? Well, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to watch this video. I'm making this video for you right now so that you'll have it. We're going to talk, talking currently about PAWS. We're going through the schedule right now, and I am going to talk to you about the syllabus. So all of this is in this video. We're going to create our MyIT login and course code. We're going to do that, and I'm going to get you started in MyITLab. I'm going to show you how you do your book, and how you get into your ebook, and then get you started on the training simulators. Now, what is due? Well, if class is kind of starting on the 26th, then I'm giving you until the next class meeting. Our class meets on Thursday, so your homework will always be due on Wednesday. I'm going to be very consistent with that. Homework is always going to be due on Wednesday. And looks like a lot. Looks like a lot, but let's walk through it, okay? And you can start now, too. The first thing is that attendance quiz. Remember I showed you that in PAWS. You remember? You can rewind the video if you need to go back and look at that. It's going to take you 2 seconds to do, because you're going to open that quiz. You're going to click the one single answer, which is that yes. It's kind of like saying here, right here, I'm here. And you're going to click that and you're going to get 5 points. Don't miss out on those easy 5 points. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to complete a pretest. And this is designed to test you on some of the SLOs. These are student learning objectives. And it is bonus points only. It is simply designed to see where you stand right now in the class. What do you already know, right? So it's bonus points. It's bonus points. Just do it and you're going to get the full bonus points. The system will actually give you a grade, but when I count, it's out of 5 points. So let's say you get a 3.23, I don't know, out of 5. When I calculate your grade, I'm going to give you the full 5 points. Okay, so don't worry about that. Those things I don't think will take you very long at all. This pretest is 15 multiple choice questions, open notes, open book, open internet, Google. The one thing I would ask is that I want to know what you know, not what your friend knows, not what your cousin knows, not what your neighbor who's really good with computers knows. I want to know what you know. Okay, don't make a perfect score on this. I've already told you I'm going to give you full points if you're not already at that level, because what you're communicating to me is I'm already this perfect student. I don't need to learn anything. And so if that's true, hey, I love it. But if it's not, don't communicate that. Okay. Then you're going to do something called a simulator, a simulator. And it's going to help you with Word, and it's going to help you learn 2 of our chapters here, Word 1 and Word 2. And so we'll go through that. And I'm going to show you how to do those. You're also going to read your Word chapter. They refer to them as workshops. So you're going to read that chapter because it has information, not just how to, but good practice, best practice. And you're going to take a quiz on that. You're going to complete a Word 1 quiz. But guess what? You can use your book. You can use your book. Now, I have a note for you. Right now, you're going to do this Word 1 quiz and also the Word 2 quiz, because we cover 2 chapters every week. That is true because we are only meeting for half of the time of a regular semester. Okay? So this, I said, this was accelerated class, and that was true before any coronavirus. Okay? All right. Typically what I do is I typically give you a quiz at the start of class. And then, it's a 3-hour class at night. So at a certain point, we take a break. And when you come back from the break, to make sure that you come back from the break, I give you a quiz for at the start of the second half of class. So be aware of that these are usually in-class quizzes. But because we are going fully online in this week, you have these as homework. Okay? Now, if you are already getting confused, this is what I want. I understand. I really do understand. And this is what I want to say to you. This document is so important. Bring it to every class. Print it out. Remember, you can download it. That download means to save to your computer. Okay, you can save it. You can then print it. And I would really encourage you to do that, because this is kind of the Bible. You follow this. I don't mean any I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. I mean no disrespect for that. What I mean is that it is the guide for the class. If you do not know what you are supposed to be doing right now, you open up this in our course, you open this document, and you look to see exactly what am I supposed to be doing. Okay, have I completed that attendance quiz? Have I completed that SLO pretest? Have I done the Word 1 training simulator? You see what I'm saying? This is going to keep you on task, and you're just going to systematically, I'm going to tell you what the most successful students do, and I have seen them do it. When they have this, they keep it like in a 3-ring binder, and there's check marks next to the things they've completed, because they're not going to miss a single assignment, and they're looking ahead to make sure that if they need help, that they're not on Wednesday, April 1st at 10:30 at night trying to find out what is a simulator. They're looking ahead and they know what's going to be due. So this is the template for success. This is your guide. This is your outline. This is the schedule. Okay, this is the class schedule. So you have 6 assignments really, and some reading in there. None of, but okay, 6 assignments. And folks, come on, you're answering here. Is that really an assignment? This is a bonus point assignment, this pretest, that's not going to take you very long. So that makes 4 assignments, but there is no class. And this is basically the equivalent of the lecture, okay? So you're going to be able to do this. It's not going to be a problem. Now, we're going to focus on these assignments because week 1 right now is as far ahead as we need to look. But you can look forward to, I say week one of our class, because remember the first week was canceled. Here's week 3 of our 7 weeks, and again, that's where the class is still fully online. And so you'll start to see this pattern. Another attendance quiz. I'm going to tell you more later about these cases. Here's why later, because I don't want to overwhelm you. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this methodically. If you are right now, I want you to feel in your chest area. Are you tense right now? Breathe, because you are not being abandoned. I'm going to walk you through it. I promised you I would, and I will. Okay, and it just means don't get ahead of yourself. Don't start saying, but I don't know how to do any of this. I can't do this. You can. You don't know how yet because nobody has shown you, and I'm going to show you. And if you tune out of the video, if you're shutting down the video, that's where people tend to jump the tracks. They get off course and they have difficulty. But if you'll follow along with me, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you everything you need, okay? But you can look ahead. And then finally, here on April 9th, we're going to be in class. Yay, I'm going to get to meet you. I'll actually get to see who you are. You're going to come ready to have your picture taken, because I always like to take pictures of my students because I want to know who you are. I need to remember your name. Hopefully you can remember my name also, and we'll go through. But everything then will again be laid out for you, and we'll talk about these things. But there's no sense racing ahead to those, these future classes. Things might change. We just don't know, okay? So what we're going to focus on are these early things that we need to do, okay? Right now, what are we doing? Well, we're in this early material. We're looking through PAWS. We're looking at our schedule and our syllabus. We're going to learn how to do the MyITLab login and our ebook, and we're going to learn how to work those simulators. So once again, how did we get here? We logged into PAWS. We went to content. We were under our table of contents, which is really kind of the full list, right? We saw this first attendance quiz folder, and I'm clicking, you can see where I'm clicking, right? So I clicked on table of contents. That's what brought me to this page. If I clicked on it, I can see the attendance there, but if I click on attendance quizzes, it will show me only that. So I know how to get to those. We clicked on Getting Started. And under Getting Started, we saw Syllabus, Schedule, and MyITLab. We clicked on the link to Syllabus, and it opened the syllabus in a new tab. Now, I looked at the supplemental materials down here, but you could just as easily. Here's that same type of information, but the web coding, in order to make it accessible, does not allow me to have floating arrows and things like that. So again, there's nothing wrong with these instructions though, okay? So you can use these if these are preferable, but I did show you how to get into the supplemental materials. Here's our schedule. Oh, looks like what do I have to do? Download that? Oh, open it in Doc Reader, I guess is what I need to do. Do be patient, because sometimes what? Okay, well, I'm glad we're doing that. If you're having trouble with that, What I would ask you to do right now is use the supplement, the PDF file that I put out there, the schedule, and I will do a better job with that. Just a little aside, I need Dreamweaver installed on my computer. I'm having some difficulty. So the way I tried to create that web page didn't work out as well as I had hoped. So for the moment, if you would look for your schedule down here in the supplemental material. Okay, now, as we've gone through this in PAWS, there is one document that I'll point out here that says optional add-on printed textbook. Now I'm going to tell you something about this textbook. This is optional, and what I'm trying to tell you is the steps that you would follow if you want to order the print book. I do not necessarily recommend it. The only time I would recommend it if you are going to use it along with your ebook. The ebook is critical. You have to have the ebook because the ebook has the embedded videos that are going to show you how to do each step. But some people like to have the book on the screen, but also have a printed copy held in their hand as a side reference. So this would be something in addition, not instead of. It cannot be instead of the ebook. It can be in addition to the ebook, but not instead of the ebook, okay? And that printed textbook is something you would have to pay extra for. The ebook you've already purchased because you did that when you enrolled in the class. Okay, under getting started, I want to simply point out a couple more quick things. There is a section for help on PAWS. There are some videos that you can watch. There is a section for help on MyITLab. Now, this can be very, very helpful. You don't need to register using a 14-day free trial because you've already purchased, okay? But how do you do that registration process? And I'm going to show you that. How do I connect to Pearson Technical Support? Well, that's the link right there. All this is under MyITLab Help, okay? How do I get started in it? What are some tips and tricks with the simulators? Dr. McGrory, you've been talking about this Word 1 simulator and Word 2 simulator. What are those? Here's how to complete it, okay? So, and again, there's other videos, other things that lie ahead, but for now, just, you have some help there. There's the technical support. You have some help there, okay? And then, again, here's our Word 1 module, but let's stay on our schedule. Remember, we have our schedule. That's what we're going to follow. Okay, so hopefully at this point you have completed your attendance quiz. I'm going to pause for just a second. Hello. Okay, now I'm resuming because hopefully you have heeded my advice and you have saved the schedule to your desktop so that you can make sure that you're learning how to do all these different things. Okay, so this is our schedule. In PAWS, hopefully you've completed the attendance quiz, and that's a very important thing. But one of the next assignments was to complete the SLO pretest. Okay, and it's a quiz. Anytime you need to find a quiz, come to assessment. Okay, so we've been looking at content. Now we're going to go to assessment. Look at all the great stuff here. Grades, quizzes, assignments. We're interested in quizzes. There are those attendance quizzes. Look at the great information, the due dates, and that you have unlimited attempts to correctly answer here. You can do it. Right? All right, and here's our SLO pretest. And it again tells you the availability until April 1st. It also says you have unlimited attempts. Only your highest grade is recorded. So you would click on that link to begin the quiz. Now, let's think about some of our other requirements. Attendance quiz, SLO quiz. Yes, I have these simulators, but I also have a Word 1 quiz and a Word 2 quiz, right? These are some of my assignments. Guess what? They're all right here. So we're introducing your assignments very slowly, very methodically. Assessment, quizzes. This is the quiz page. Attendance, SLO pretest, Word Quiz 1, Word Quiz 2. Boom, boom, boom. Let that sink in because you can do that. Attendance, SLO pretest, Word Quiz 1, and Word Quiz 2. Okay. Now, with that, I feel like we have successfully covered a lot of information in PAWS. We've talked a lot about the schedule, and it's time to jump into MyITLab so that you understand, all the requirements for that. Now, I'm going to go back to Chrome because remember I suggested to use the Chrome browser, and in our instructions, which you may have printed and saved and downloaded, shall I pull them up again? Here are the instructions that you've downloaded, and it told us we can type all this, or we can simply go to MyITLab, enable pop-ups, use this. So hopefully you have this in front of you, this document. Okay. Now, we're getting ready to open MyITLab, and what I want you to do first and foremost is I want you to return to our course homepage. You can actually do this right now along with me with the video, and you'll be set up. Normally I do this the first night of class, so since we're all online, I don't get to meet you yet. That's not good, but I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be so fast too. I just can't even believe it. Okay, so I clicked up here. I'm in PAWS, and I went to our class, and then I'm making sure I'm on this front page, this first page. Scroll down. And here is the golden information. This is what you need right here, because you can see how I'm selecting over that. Now you want to select exactly what you need. Sometimes if you struggle with your use of the mouse, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to get just this. Now, when I say you want to right click on it, you don't want to right click here. See what I did? Once I select this, I'm going to keep my mouse on top of it and then right click, because what this right click does is it says, what are you going to copy? I'm going to copy what I have right clicked on top of. So if I do this first, nope, I don't know what I'm copying. It's not that, it's something. It's going to be weird. I have to select it, keep it selected, don't click anywhere. Keep your mouse right on top of it and right click. Now, a common question that I get is someone will say, do I right click or do I left click? No one ever says left click. That's not a word. Left click, I've never heard it, okay? Right click, yes, because it's uncommon, okay? Because it means pull up the menu. That's what right click means. You know what right click does? Always, it gives you a menu. And the menu is always based on what you have right clicked on top of. That's always true. Take that to the bank, okay? So if I have selected this and then I right click on top of it, I'm going to do copy. And if you're struggling with those steps, then Academic Support Center, folks, Academic Support Center. Okay, now just kind of keep that in mind, because in a minute we're going to do the same thing to our course code. This gets you into our class. This pays for your access. Okay, so this is the course code. I'm going to open up a new tab in my browser. You can do this along with me. And remember, now I'm going to give you another trick. Notice that my cursor is flashing up here in the address bar. If you are just down here, see the difference? See how nothing is flashing up there? Okay, what's going to happen if I start typing right now is it's going to Google it. And I don't want it to Google it. I want it to go specifically to MyITLab. So the first thing I do is I've got to click in that bar. And some browsers make it really hard to see that you're in that bar. Okay, so you got to click up there. That's a big lesson. Click up there. You know what, folks? That will help you to reduce fraud, because you don't want to Google the website you're trying to go to, because you might get some kind of phishing website that distracts you. If you want to go to a specific website, put that website in the address bar up here. So I'm going to type, and really what I can do is I can type MyITLab. I'm going to go ahead and type .com. And then I'm going to press the enter key. Now, see how it changed this? And I can see it up here to Pearson, MyLab, blah, blah, blah. And it took me straight to it. If you didn't click actually up here in the address bar, you are currently looking at a list of websites that may or may not be MyITLab. You can try to get to it navigating that way. Some students do, but I would again recommend you click up on the address bar. Okay, now, since you have never logged into our course before, you are going to register now. Later on, after you've registered, all you have to do is sign in. Okay, but we've never registered, so we're going to click student. It says you need an email address. It says you need your instructor's course code. Remember, we have that. And then you need some way to pay, and we have that because we have that information. Okay, so I've got all that. Okay, let's go. All right, the first thing it says is, what is your course code? You can type it in, but remember, we have already copied it. So I'm going to click in that box. I'm going to right click. So should I move my mouse out here? I've got to right click on top of the object I'm working with. So I've got to right click on that box, and then I'm going to paste. Probably should paste as plain text, but I'm going to paste. So there's my last name, McGrory, and then the number 95599. Continue. Okay, now, if you are using your Southwest username, if you don't remember your password from that math learning support class, from some other class you took that used Pearson, then you might need to click the forgot your password link, okay? Or create a new one. You can use whatever email address you want, but I'm going to ask you a favor. Please, please, folks, please, when it comes time to put your name in this information, you have got to use the name that is on file with the college. If your first name is Robert, but you go by Bob, please don't put Bob, put Robert, because that's how I see you when I go to record your grade. Here's another mistake that I see every semester, and I see it in all different classes. Your first name needs to go in the first name box. Your last name needs to go in the last name box. When you invert that, what you will cause me to do is to mess up another student's grades, because as I'm going through and I'm saying I have to manually type these grades. So I'm looking over here on the right, and there's your Pearson information, and it says that your first name is Smith, and so I say, okay, well, the next person in line, that should be Smith, but I overlook the fact that it's not Smith, it's actually Stephen. So I put your grade into Stephen's place, and Stephen's going to email me, and you're going to email me, and you're going to say, why aren't my grades right? And it really all boils down to the fact that you didn't pay attention. Okay, and that's really what this is. Because, folks, you know your first name, and you know your last name, right? I mean, you know you do. So just pay attention. You can do this. I know you can. I'm going to create something brand new. Now remember, you can use whatever email address you want. Goodness, that's certainly a display. I'm going to call this 2020 Spring. I'm kind of making up an email address. I encourage you to use a real one, email, but it can be whatever email you want. I'm going to call this, let's see, BUSN1360. Yeah, and I'll say southwest.tn.edu. If you are using your Southwest email address, it's at southwest.tn.edu. Okay? Now, what is my username? It's going to be the same. What is my password? There's the guidelines. Make sure that you follow all of those guidelines. Let's see. I'm going to say, what is my password? I used to have, let's see. See if it'll do that. Yeah. Now, what is your first name? Again, don't put your last name here because it's asking for your first name. This is not hard. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, I'm going to put, this is Anna Apples. She's always my pretend student. And you're going to pick whatever security question you might like. I'm going to say Anna Apples was born in Memphis. You have to agree to the terms. You have to let them know, of course, if you're a minor and I am not. Do not wish to receive information about Pearson. That's completely up to you. If you want to receive the information, that's fine. And then create your account. Make sure you remember it. That's the key. I'm going to copy that actually right now. In fact, so that I remember it, because I'll forget it. Okay, so I'm going to create an account. Now, you don't need to pay this because you already purchased access to this at the time that you enrolled in the course. So I'm going to click on access code, and it's saying I need to have this access code. We'll see all these tabs that I have open up here, and remember this one is for PAWS. Excuse me. And we've already used the course code. So now we're going to come down here and we're going to select. And by the way, select means that you put your mouse slightly to the left of the object. You press the mouse button down. I did not say left or right, so we know left. And you keep it held down. You're keeping that mouse button held down as you move your hand, and when you get to the end, you release. Now, don't click, because if you click someplace else, you're going to lose what you've selected. So I'm going to select that again. I keep my mouse on top of what I've selected. I right-click. Then I copy. I'm going to go back to my Pearson tab. I'm going to click here, keep the mouse on top. See how I've clicked there? I can see that flashing insertion point. I'm going to keep my mouse there. I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. And bloop, it went all the way across. That's fantastic. I click finish. Be patient. And you really do have to be patient. That's not just now, throughout your use of MyITLab, please be patient. It does take time. Another key to success, I really do recommend that when you go through this setup process, that you do not do this on your cell phone. Cell phones just do not have the same capabilities as a regular computer, and students sometimes experience difficulty with the registration when they try to do it on a cell phone. Yay! So I can print this. You may want to, just so you have it. There's the technical support link and, the date and all that good kind of stuff. I don't know about account ID, but if you ever need it, there it is. Print this page for your records. And so, maybe I'll do that. There we go. So we've got it. Oh, my printer's offline. That's lovely. Okay. Hopefully yours will not be. So I've got that, and let's see. Oh, and I need to click on I need to get into my course. I should not be struggling with this. I apologize. I guess I need to go back out. I thought this was normally clickable. That's why I'm kind of, okay, something has changed here. Okay, well, you know what? No problem. I'm going to close that tab. I'm going to open a new tab. And how do I get to my assignments? I'm up here in the address bar. MyITLab.com. Enter. Now as I return, I've already created my student account. I've registered. So all I have to do is click on sign in. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me sign out. It's such force of habit for me to sign in as an instructor. I'm sorry. Let me do that again. That was just force of habit. I apologize. I'm going to sign in. And it says, who are you? And I think I still have my, nope. Okay, I thought I had my, put your email address in there, whatever one you used. Put your password. And sign in. And I apologize for those missteps. My brain is a little fried there. Now, I'm not doing anything here. What's going on? Sign in. There it goes. Okay, so I've got to read some policies. Need to select the country. my default language, and you would read carefully all that. I agree, continue. And now I'm in, okay? So now that I'm in, I can click on my course. And folks, you can always refer back to this video. It's going to remain out here. Anytime you need it, you've got it. So here I am in the very beginning. It says getting started, and there's lots of ways to view things. There's a calendar. What I want to show you is course materials. I find this to be the most practical. You can, of course, go between all of these. I mean, there's a lot of things you want to look at. Click course materials. Alrighty, now this is the ebook folder. And we probably will seldom use this because your book is huge. It has chapters on access databases and all kinds of things, and you are welcome to explore it. But I have links within each one of these folders that go to your ebook and will take you to the specific section of the ebook that you need. So you can explore that folder. I encourage you to do that, but I'm going to start with Word Workshop 1 folder. Remember patience, right? Okay, now there are 3 things in here. One of them has a due date, and this is an assignment that we have to do. It's the simulator, and I do want to talk to you about the simulator. I'm just going to very briefly show you some of these other tools. I say show, point at, okay? Audio PowerPoints are exactly what they say they are. It is a series of PowerPoints. They're informative. They help you understand Word better. Maybe you are familiar with Word, but maybe when we get to covering Excel or PowerPoint, maybe you would like to look at these, and you are certainly welcome to do that. They are not required. They are a nice resource for you. Now here's the e-text, and I'm only going to get you started in this because we're going to talk more about this later. I am going to open this, but I'm just going to cover it very briefly. I'm going to click on e-text, and notice I get a pop-up window. If you do not see this, look in the background for a red X, and typically it'll be kind of in this area here. And if you see it, click the red X and then click on Always Allow. Even though you say to always allow, it will periodically force you to do it again. So always look for that red X. Okay, but this window popped up and it says Word Chapter 1 e-text, and I need to click on that. I'm actually glad this happened because we're going to get a chance to look at this. Now it says to me, wait a minute, you need Flash. Sometimes it will say this, sometimes it will not. I need Flash. It says get Flash. I'm going to click on that. It says, do you want to allow it? Yes, I do. I clicked allow. Oh, okay. Sometimes it will take you to like one step further where you have to actually, you're on a web page where you have to say to it that you need to allow it. See, these are the types of things that if you run into problems, remember that you can contact the MyITLab technical support, or you can contact Southwest technical support. Okay, because you're going to need help right away, and I'm not always going to be, at my desk ready to help you. So, be a go-getter. Talk to the MyITLab technical support, the Pearson. This is your book. This is your book. It took you straight to the Chapter 1 of Word. A lot of these items are clickable. Here are the page numbers up here. So look around at some of these things, and it tells you about the case that you're going to work on. And in this case, the case is a resort, and you're going to this is Chapter 1, so you're just going to review and modify a document. Okay? These are some of the files that I actually provide to you. We're going to talk more about this later. Here's the one thing I want to show you while we're in the book. You're studying for your quizzes, and this is the content that you're going to read. Because remember, you're preparing for a quiz that in PAWS that you have to do for homework. So remember over here, in PAWS, assessment, quizzes, and you're going to take this Word 1 quiz. Well, those quiz questions are coming from your book. And so we just went into the ebook, right? And you can just, go through. Look up here, there's a search box. You can search your book. Now, these are some of the how-to steps, and we'll talk about those later. This link right here, this is a video. A lot of students overlook that. If I click that, a big video is going to open up, going to show me exactly what I have to do. I'm amazed that students avoid that. I don't know why you would rather read all of this and try to understand exactly what they mean when this video will show you exactly what you have to do. Okay? And so this is more how-to instruction, and it's all great. And we're going to talk about that later because, yeah, you're going to have to do that, but one thing at a time, one thing at a time. So I might read a little bit more, might learn a little bit about document formats, right? So, I mean, this is, there's some reading. It's just like any book. There's some reading, and then there's some step-by-step instructions. See, that's interesting to know. What is a heading? What is an inside address? What is a salutation? All right? So you get an idea. So there's reading. What is word wrap? What is a soft return? What is a hard return? Those might be quiz questions. What are non-printing characters? What are formatting marks? Those might be quiz questions. And so there's the answers right there in your book. And like I said, later on we'll talk about these how-to steps and using that video. So that was my ebook. I realized very briefly, that. How did we get to it again? Let's just kind of do that again. Word, it pops up this box. I make sure I enable pop-ups. I click the link. If it tells me to enable Flash, I need to enable Flash. Right back in. Okay? All right, so enough of that. We looked at eText. There's audio PowerPoints there. I want you to look at the simulators. Now, in the simulators, and I realize this is getting long. How long is my video to you? It's over an hour, so we're going to wrap up here pretty quick. Okay. Oops, I need this to go away. Okay. Depending on what your computer screen, the size of your computer screen, these instructions and this menu down here might display on the right-hand side. It all depends on how your window is sized. So if your window is sized very big, I'm trying to see if I can force it to move. No, it all has to do with the resolution of your computer. Okay, so it'll stay down here. And notice it tells me to start Microsoft Word. But this is a simulator. Look how it's looking like a desktop, but this is not my desktop. It's got one of these buttons right here, like a menu button, but it's not the menu button for my computer. I'm completely self-contained inside of this simulator. So everything I'm doing is not on my computer. It's all within the simulator. And now, once I finish that instruction, there's another one underneath here, and I need to know how to do that. If you at any time do not know how to do, if you know how to do it, you might click on this, okay, and maybe see where it says ask me anything. This is what I normally do. I type Word, and then I might click on Word 2016. This is not opening Word on my computer. This is opening Word inside of the simulator. Now, it said to open Microsoft Word 2016 and then begin a blank document. This is a blank document. Double click. Okay, see how it went on to the next part of the instruction? You're not done until it tells you you're done. It says that I need to click the Insert tab and insert text from this file. I don't even know where is this file. What is it talking about? Well, this file is contained within the simulator, so I don't fully need to worry about it. But when it says insert text, I mean, I got to insert okay. I don't see insert text. Do I click here? I don't know. Do I click something here? What do I click on? Right? I mean, I'm clicking on all this stuff. I don't know what any of this stuff is, right? I don't know how to do this. So what I want to show you is learning aids. There's a lot of things to look at down here. The total assignment, you have 2 hours to complete. That's plenty of time. For each task, and this is task 1 of 17, I have 5 attempts. Okay, if I use up my 5 attempts on a task, probably need to start the assignment over. You're not going to have that problem. Here's why you're not going to have the problem. Because you're going to go to Learning Aids and you're going to do practice.
Click the Insert tab.
Oh, okay. See these little red marching ants? That's what they're called. That's what it's going to wait, and I click
In the
that.
text group, click the Object button arrow, and then click Text from File.
Oh, that's how you do it. I didn't know. Now I know. Click that, and then click Text from File. Now, I have to actually click this because I'm learning, and it's waiting on me.
In the Insert File dialog box, double-click the W01H1 CAMPS file.
Now, I do not have this file on my computer. This PC is not my PC. Documents is not my documents. This is completely within the simulator. So it's okay that I don't have that file. I'm going to click it. Oh, am I supposed to double click? Okay, it says now you know how to do that part of the task. So you need to remember. And folks, don't just remember for the next 2 seconds. This is a learning thing. And so hopefully you learn how to do this because let me tell you, you're going to have an opportunity to do it yourself here soon. Insert. Do you remember? Text from file. There's that file, and it suggested double click, and I did it. Now, I'm not done. I'm not done. Save the document in the Documents folder with this particular name, and then close the document. So, File, Save, Documents folder. This is all within the simulator. And it said that I should call it W01. Oops. I'm sorry, I guess I need to click there. Let me click. W01H1 capital R refuge, I guess. And then I'm going to close. I'm going to save, I'm sorry. And then it did say to close the document. Now I have completed task 1. And now I would start on task 2. Can you save? Yes, you can save and come back. I believe the timer continues to run though. So try to get through all of this, and anytime you don't know how to do a particular task or you're confused by it, go to the practice. Sometimes it can be a little persnickety. It's going to be very precise, and so you want to do it the way that they're telling you to do it. Okay, and that's going to be very key. I'm going to submit this. Yeah. Remember, you have unlimited attempts. But you do have to do this within the within the time frame. I'm sorry, we're back on my desktop there, so let me get there. So that's the simulator. Notice it says that my score, I only did one question, is 5.88%. That was one of my attempts. I only spent 6 minutes on it. Looks like 6 seconds on it there, whatever, and I didn't pass it. So I would need to go into that again. Very oftentimes when you are clicking on that to go in it, you're going to get that pop-up blocker in the background, and you're going to have to click that red X and enable pop-ups. Okay, I'm going to close that before it even opens. All right, so where are we now with this? Oops, we can close that. What have we done here? My goodness, we have done an overview of PAWS. We have looked at our schedule. We still haven't looked at the syllabus yet. We're going to look at that. We have already created our MyITLab login. That's some bonus points you just earned by doing that. We have looked at how to open your ebook so you can prepare for the quizzes, and we have looked at how to complete a simulator. Now, in terms of the quizzes, look, I've told you very quickly how to get into the attendance quiz. It's easy. I've shown you where a variety of your quizzes are, like the SLO pretest. Told you how to get to your simulators, Word Training 1 simulator. We need to do Word 2 training simulator. Well, guess what? When we came into MyITLab, we went to course materials. Maybe I should go back there. Be patient, key to working with MyITLabs. And we went into this Word Workshop 1 folder and we found the simulator. If I go back to course materials, there's lots of ways to do that, but if I go back to course materials, I can open Word Workshop 2. See how they're all lined up here for you? Word Workshop 2. And there's the second simulator. And it works exactly the same as the first one. Okay? So I'm going to close that. So I think we've covered that. Here's our syllabus. Okay, so, okay, let me just start from the beginning. We logged into PAWS. We went to our class. On the home page of our class, if you scroll down, you have the important course code for our class, and you have the access code that pays for your MyITLab access. You have under content, you have the attendance quizzes. Oh, I'm sorry, let me look at this the way. It threw me back into instructor mode. I apologize. It threw me back into instructor mode. So you have instructor code. You have the access code that you can pay, that pays under content. You have you have your table of contents. You see right away your attendance quizzes. You can, if you want, just keep scrolling down and you'll find some material to read, your syllabus, that type of information. Underneath that, of course, you also have the supplements that might be easier to view. And in fact, with the schedule, that I really do need you to use this particular schedule for right now. Okay. When you are ready to take your word quizzes, remember all quizzes can be found under assessment and then quizzes. And there you'll find the pretest. You'll find word quiz 1 and word quiz 2. And of course you can use your book with those. Okay. I know you're whooped. I know. I am too. Here's the syllabus. Remember, we opened the link to the syllabus. And folks, I know you don't like reading the syllabus, but how can you get comfortable with understanding what's expected of you and what's available to you if you don't take the time to read it? Now, I'm going to tell you a couple little tips and tricks for reading this. This is a template, and I don't have control over every single piece of this. So there are certain pieces that you might even find that are just less necessary. Or, you know what? You may need different pieces at different times. When you need the Academic Support Center, there's a link here to it. When you need to know where are the computer labs, those are things that are automatically put into my syllabus. I don't have any control over that, but it's all there for you. And because it's a web page, you can search it. Do you know how to search a web page? Control F, and it'll bring up either up here or else down in the lower corner, it'll bring up a search box. And so you can start to put things in here to find out, like a academic support. Look at that and see, and it's going to find, it says there's 7 references to the Academic Support Center. All right, but that's not what I want to show you. Let's go back up to the top. I know what you want to know. Right now, you want to know, how do I get my grades? So up here, there's a link, assessment and grading. Now, here's the way I have this organized. In detail, I am explaining to you things about the assignments. How many attempts do you have? What is the time limit? Do you have a drop grade? Only your highest grade is recording. All that is explained very thoroughly, and you need that information. When you email me, I will direct you back to the syllabus, because this is a fast-paced class, folks, and when you need that information, you're going to end up waiting a day for me to reply back to you when it's at your fingertips the whole time, right? So you're going to want to go through. Now, you may not want to read about the cases right now because you haven't been assigned them yet, but maybe you want to understand more about the simulators, and so you want to read that part now. What is a lead and follow? You don't even know what I'm talking about because we're not doing those yet. I will introduce you to these things very methodically. So don't worry, no worries, okay? Very methodically, one piece at a time. But please scroll down until you find this, point values used in the method of evaluation. Okay, remember that SLO pretest? That's 5 bonus points. Creating your MyITLab user login, 5 bonus points right there. The PAWS attendance quiz, folks, I have to know that you're attending. Those are 5 required points, and there's going to be 3 of those. That's easy peasy, get those points. Later, towards the end of the semester, and you can read about this, way up in here somewhere. I won't do it right now. There's going to be an SLO post-test. There's going to be quizzes, and we've already looked at 2 of those. Typically, they're in class, but remember, we're doing them online right now, right? How many are there? Do I have a drop grade? How many points are there? How much of my grade is it, right? The lead and follows, these are in-class activities, okay? That's all they are. Don't get worked up about that. This is easy peasy. You're going to actually love this because you're going to get a lot of your work done. The cases, those are those how-to steps that you saw in the book, and the video is going to guide you right through that. Not going to be any problem. And your exam is basically going to be doing something like a case. It's not as bad. It's actually a thing in MyITLab that will automatically grade your work. So you're kind of playing against the system, and it's going to be a pass-fail thing, and I only require that you make a 70% or above, so you can read about that. You're going to do well, folks. Okay, so if you are right now, feel that tightness in your chest, let it go. Let it go. I've gotten folks through this before. If you're a beginner, you're going to struggle a little bit. You're going to feel some frustration. Team up. Work with your class. Go to the Academic Support Center. Email me when you need to. Be as specific as you can with those questions so that I can help you. I'm glad to do that. Here's what I would say. Don't yell at me. I don't like being yelled at. You don't like being yelled at. I do like to treat you respectfully. I really do. I mean that. But I also... I want to be treated respectfully. I don't like, I had somebody yelling at me the other day because I basically addressed them with a wrong Mr. or Mrs. thing. And the email came across as very harsh. And it was an honest mistake on my part, and I'm very, very sorry. But I just think like those little types of things, I'm not out to get you. I'm not. There's nothing in it for me, okay? I prefer that you pass. I prefer that you learn this. I know how valuable these skills are, and I'm really not joking. I'm not being, just saying it. I want you to do well. So if you can, work with me in that way, but do understand this. Sometimes the answer is not exactly what you want. The answer might be that yes, you do have to do the assignment. The answer might be that I made a mistake on a due date and that you're right and I need to fix that. The answer might be that I will not be on campus today, or I have meetings all day, and so you need to go to the Academic Support Center. It's okay to do that. That's why they're there. It really is. So, work with me. The answer might be, I had a student a semester or 2 ago, and she said, this is not working on my computer. And, I believe you. I do. Call technical support. You got to call Pearson technical support. You got to call, depending on what the problem is, the Southwest technical support. That is not me trying to get rid of you. It's not. That is me trying to get you the help that you need. And I want you to get that help. I do. I really do. So please understand, I am not trying to slough you off. I'm not trying to pass the buck. I'm trying to connect you with the person who is best able to help you as fast as you can possibly get that help, especially in our accelerated course. So, all right, I'm starting to get passionate and all worked up on this, but anyway, how do I calculate my grade? I've got that information in there. Okay, so you have had enough of listening to my voice. I get that. Hopefully you have the tools you need. If you had to stop and watch this video in pieces, that's understandable. Do refer back to it as you need. But I do hope that this gives you the information that you need. Looking ahead, don't freak out. Do not freak out. There's more to come. Under assignments, there are some things. It looks worse than it is, because some of these are kind of the same. It's just you're going to be submitting your in-class activity before you submit the finished product. Okay, and I kind of do that as an attendance thing. So anyway, this probably looks worse than it is. But you can explore that. I post your grades. When I post your grades, I always tell you not to look at that little alert thing up here. I hate those because they don't give you the feedback that you need. Instead, go to assessment, then go to grades. Look through here, and these will start to fill up. Instead of 0 out of 10, you'll have 10 out of 10 and 9 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10, and then a 10 out of 10, right? So you'll start to have all these as your grades are posted. Scroll down is key. Scroll down. That's very, very key to be able to see all your grades, okay? So explore that, but remember we looked under content. That was one of our links today. Assessment and then quizzes, that was another one. I will leave you with this under communications. If you will go to class list, you will find all of your classmates, and you can simply check the box next to their name in order to email them, and then click the email button to email them. So you can do that. And again, on our course homepage, which I got to by clicking our course name, that's how you return to it when you're moving around within the course. Remember that you have our course code, and then you have the access code for our class. Thank you, folks. I appreciate your patience for this long video, but an hour and a half, that's not bad. That's a typical class meeting, right? So thank you very much, and we will talk to you soon. I'll stay in touch with you, okay?